Hey guys, so today we're going to be making some pan-seared chicken and we're going to be serving it with a delicious creamy Cajun sauce, and I'm going to be pairing this with some perfectly cooked white rice. So if you'd like to see how I prepare this meal, just keep watching the video. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking my chicken breast and I'm slicing it in half to make, instead of having 3 chicken breasts, I'm gonna have 6 chicken breasts to make it thinner. Okay, then I'm gonna pat dry each piece of my chicken breast to remove any extra liquid on them. You want to pat dry both sides, and next we're gonna season them up on both sides. All right, so I have a mixture of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, paprika, ground cumin, and Cajun seasoning. So just mix all of those seasonings together and lightly season both sides of each pieces of the chicken breast really well. So next I'm getting my frying pan and I'm placing it over medium-high heat. Then I'm going to add some oil in the pot. You want to add enough oil to cover the bottom of the pan, okay? And once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add the pieces of chicken breast into the pan. And basically I'm gonna sear the chicken until it has a nice golden brown color on that first side of the chicken. All right, so you want it to form a nice brown crust, and then you're gonna flip it to the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna flip my chicken to the other side and let it finish cooking. All right, so I'm gonna let it cook for about 5 to 6 more minutes until the chicken is fully cooked and nicely seared. Alright, so while my chicken is cooking, I'm gonna get started on the white rice. So the first thing you want to do with the white rice is wash it 2 times. Alright, so rinse it out with fresh water 2 times and then put the washed rice into your pot. Next, I'm gonna add in some water. So for 1 cup of rice, I add in about 1.5 to 1 3/4 cup of liquid. But to play it safe, if you're just starting out cooking rice, a good ratio to use when cooking rice is 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of liquid, and your rice will come out perfectly cooked. Okay, so add in the water and then I added some salt, and then I let my pot come to a boil. Do not cover the pot yet. Let the rice boil until you start seeing like little dents in the pot with the rice. Okay, so the liquid will dry down a little, just like this. You'll see the rice start making like small dents in it. That's when you're gonna turn your heat down to the lowest setting on your stove and cover the pot and let the rice take its time and steam and cook. Alright, so this is one way I cook rice sometimes, depending on what I'm feeling for. I like the way it come out like this, and yeah, so this kind of reminds me of like the rice you buy from the Chinese store, the white rice. When I cook it like this, it comes out like that. All right, so yeah, you could cover it and let it cook for about 25 minutes until the rice is perfectly cooked and all the liquid has absorbed. And once it's perfectly cooked, just cover it and set it aside until we're ready to serve our meal. Okay guys, so while my chicken is cooking, I also sliced up some scallion. So right here I'm using Mexican scallion. I like using it when I'm making this dish. And also I'm gonna slice up a small red onion. Okay, so just slice it up however you like, but what I did was I kind of sliced it into huge pieces to add to my chicken. So slice it up and set it aside until we're ready for it. Alright you guys, my chicken is finished cooking, but I'm gonna flip it back to the first side because I want it to get a little more brown. I want a nice color on both sides, so I'm gonna flip it one more time, and then what I'm gonna do is add in the sliced up onions and scallion, and basically I mix it in with the chicken and I let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. I don't want it to get too soft, but you can cook your veggies to your liking here. Alright, so if you want it to have a nice crisp bite to it, don't cook it for long. If you want it to be more on the soft side, then cook it a little bit longer. And that's it for making our pan seared chicken, you guys. We're finished cooking the chicken. So now let's make this delicious sauce to go with the chicken. So I'm getting my frying pan and I'm placing it over medium heat. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of butter into my pot. And then I minced a few cloves of garlic and diced up a little bit of onion. So I'm gonna add that into the pot with the butter. And I'm gonna let that cook until the onion gets a little bit soft and you start to smell the onion and garlic, okay? So once you start to smell it and it caramelizes just a little bit, I'm gonna go in and add in some half and half. I'm using half and half because it's a little bit lighter, but you can use heavy cream too. It's totally fine, all right? But I prefer to use half and half. Then I'm gonna use my whisk to blend the half and half with the onion and garlic, and then I'm gonna start seasoning my sauce a little bit. So to season it, I like to use paprika. I also use some black pepper, just a little bit of salt, and of course some Cajun seasoning. So when you're adding the seasonings, just taste your sauce as you're adding it so you can adjust it and so that you don't over season, okay? So mix the seasoning into the sauce, and basically you're waiting for the sauce to start boiling just a little. Once it starts making small bubbles, you're gonna turn off the heat, or you can leave it over very low heat because we are gonna add in some cheese next, okay? So I'm gonna add in just a little bit of blend of Mexican cheese. So you don't want to add too much to make the sauce too thick, but enough so that like the sauce comes together and it's creamy and slightly thick and just delicious. All right, so I added about 4 ounces, maybe just a little bit more, until I had the right consistency for my sauce, and just blend it in really well in the sauce. And that's it for this delicious sauce. We're finished. Okay, you guys, so now it's basically time to eat. So what I'm gonna do is slice each piece of my chicken breast going across, and then we're gonna serve. So I'm just plating my white rice, and then I'm gonna add some chicken, and I also made some fried plantains to go with today's meal. And then I'm gonna pair the scallion and onion we mixed with the chicken on the side of my plate as well. You can serve it on top of the chicken if you like. And lastly, I'm gonna do some of that delicious sauce on top of the chicken and enjoy my meal. So easy to make, and it's so comforting and delicious. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the recipes. I hope you give it a try. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.